In today's video, we're going to talk about how you can lose fat all year long with my 3-phase approach to changing the way your body looks. What's up guys, it's Anthony from AB Fitness Center, where we help you to lose body fat, gain muscle, and get stronger. Guys, today we're going to talk about how to drastically change your body composition and kind of give you a roadmap to help change your body for the permanent and for the better. But before we even get started, I want you guys to make sure you hit that subscribe button. This way you never, ever miss a beat. And you also get top-notch, applicable fitness information right away. So we're going to preface this whole video by saying, first and foremost, if you are not tracking your macronutrients, you need to make sure you're doing that, okay? You need to make sure you're lifting weights, and you need to make sure you repeat that. Those are the 3 things, and I tell all of our clients this: if you want permanent results, you need to make sure you're tracking your macros, you need to make sure you're lifting weights consistently, you need to make sure you repeat that over and over and over. So if you're not doing that, you need to start with that first before you even think about any type of, just losing fat. Just get into the habit of doing those things. But before we begin, most people, they think, okay, I just want to get in good shape, I have to diet all the time. And the simple fact of the matter is that's not realistic. Your body will break down. You won't end up getting in good shape that way. You'll end up losing muscle. You end up being smaller and like fatter, and it's just like it's not gonna be a good look. You're not gonna be nice and toned and tight and ripped. It's not gonna be you, right? If you try to diet all the time. So first and foremost, what we have to talk about, you have to phase each level that you're at, and I'm gonna cover this in a second. So phase 1. Okay, and this is, and I'll fine tune all this as we go along, so just follow me here. So phase 1 is going to be your fat loss phase. So what a fat loss phase is actually means is that you're actually in a calorie deficit, which means you're eating less calories than you're burning. So you're burning more calories, you're actually in a state where your body's actually breaking down fat, a little bit of muscle. It's normal, it happens, but you're in one of those states. That's the state you want to be in. That's considered a fat loss phase. Now, you're not dieting if you're only following your plan less than 90%. That's not dieting, that's trying, okay? You wanna make sure that you're dieting. You have to be following it, going back to the 3 things I said earlier: tracking your macros, working out with weights, repeating that. Those are the 3 things you need to be doing all the time. If you're not doing that 90% of the time, this video is not for you. So this video is for you if you are doing that baseline. Okay, so you need to make sure you're doing that. You're not dieting if you're doing good 3 days out of the week and then you're bad 4 days, or you're not tracking and you're going over. So I need you first and foremost to get on that 7 days a week. That's the first and foremost. That's the one thing that we need to do, right? So now what? You can't diet all the time. So let's say you have some body fat to lose, and you diet for a couple weeks, a couple months, and you're still not where you're at, so you keep dieting. What starts to happen is your metabolism actually begins to slow down. Because remember, your metabolism is never static. It's always a moving target. When you have a lot of calories, your metabolism goes up. When your calories drop down, your metabolism goes down. So it's always kind of like this. So when you diet for an extended period of time, your metabolism starts up here and begins to go down, 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 and down. And what starts to happen is you actually have to keep cutting calories in order to keep losing, and you end up barely eating, still not losing any fat, and you end up with something called metabolic damage. You end up losing some muscle, and your metabolism's slower. You're just not in a good place. So this is why it's not a good idea to diet year round. So that's first and foremost. But that's the first phase, calorie deficit. The second phase of my 3-phase approach is building up of your metabolism phase, or reverse dieting phase. So basically what this phase means is after you diet, after you get to the body fat that you want to get to, you need to rebuild back your metabolism. So in other words, if you're, let's just pick a random number. So if you weigh 150 pounds right now and you're pretty lean, that's where you are, whatever, that's the number. And a good successful reverse dieting phase and maximizing your metabolism phase would be if you were eating 1,200 calories at 150, let's just say, okay? If you still weighed 150 12 weeks later, but now you're eating 2,500 calories, you've successfully maximized your metabolism. So you want to spend time doing just that, maximizing your metabolism. Because like I told you, when you diet for so long, your metabolism drops. all those fat burning hormones go down, so we need to kick them back up. So going into a maximizing your metabolism phase is really good, a really good idea to follow it up after a fat loss phase. Again, spending time to build back up your metabolism. The third phase is going to be a pure muscle building phase where you're in something called a calorie surplus, which basically means you're eating more calories than you're burning. So during this phase, your body will put on more muscle. Again, granted, if you're doing the three things, logging your food, working out consistently, and just repeating that over and over and over. But your body will put on more muscle during this phase. It's really good for your metabolism to do that because it gives your metabolism a break from dieting. And then what I would recommend doing from this point is rotating it and going back to fat loss. So again, the reason why you can't diet all year long is because your body won't let you just lose fat after a certain point. It just doesn't. It just shuts down. Your metabolism slows down to accompany that low drop in calories. So again, like I said, if you started the diet at 2,000 calories, you ended up at 1,500, your body doesn't want to give up any more body fat because it doesn't want to drop. Even if you drop the calories lower, it's just not going to happen. Your body's going to slow you down. So here's how this was going to work for you. So this is exactly what I do. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I do, and you could use it as a model for you, and I'll explain how we could use this. So what I do every year, and this is how every year I net a better physique year after year. I'm a little bit more muscle, a little bit less fat, and I kind of repeat this cycle over and over. And this is what has to happen in order to make this sustainable more long term. So from March till June, I go into a calorie deficit phase. So basically during this phase, my goal is strictly fat loss. I strictly want to lose body fat during this phase and maintain as much muscle as I can. So I'll drop my calories at this point and I'll go into a calorie phase and I'll diet from March till June. And typically it's a perfect time to diet for me because nothing's really going on. There's no real holidays during that time. It's not really summer yet. It's like springish. So it's a good time to start dieting. There's no real distractions around us of holidays and things like that. So from March till June, I'll do that. Now, let's just say at the end of June, I hit my fat loss goal. Again, this is also good because it gives me a definitive date to lose fat by. Okay, so by June 30th, I will be X. Again, definitive, smart goal, specific, measurable, attainable, smart goal, right? So now, come July to September, what I do something called maximizing my metabolism, and I reverse diet. So basically, I'm trying to build up my metabolism. So let's say I ended my fat loss journey at 2,500 calories. Now, my goal from July to September is to not gain any weight, maybe 1 or 2 pounds, okay? But the goal is not to gain any weight, but to build back that metabolism. So I might start at 2,500 calories in July. Maybe by August, I'm at 3,000. Maybe by September, I'm at whatever, 32. Again, I'm just throwing numbers out there. But successfully at that point, at the end of September, my weight is pretty much the same or maybe just a little bit higher, just again, depending on how aggressive I went. But my calories are significantly higher. So now what that sets me up for is my body is primed now to put muscle back on because I've been maintaining this. So what I do from October till March is I put weight on and I put muscle on. I go into a calorie surplus, meaning I'm eating more calories than my body needs. And during this time, again, I'm also building up my metabolism, getting my body used to all this extra food, and I'm putting on muscle. And I'm focusing on my 3 things. I track my calories, I work out consistently, and I just keep doing that, right? So it's like a cycle. So that's exactly how my year is basically structured. But yet, at the end of every phase per year, I'm always a little bit more muscular, I'm always a little bit more leaner, and my metabolism is always that much better. So again, like for me, I can lose body fat pretty quickly on like 3,000 calories. Again, because I spent ample time building up my metabolism. So here's what I would do if I were you listening to this right now. So if your goal was primarily fat loss, so let's just say your body fat was high and you wanted to lose body fat, what would you do in that case? Well, I would diet for a specific amount of time until I got to exactly where I gotta go. So let's say I wanted to go, I don't know, I hate picking out numbers, but whatever. Let's just say I wanted to diet from 25% body fat to 15% body fat. So I would diet until I was happy with the way I looked. Then I would transition into a reverse diet, and I would reverse diet for a couple months, maybe the same amount of time that I dieted for. So let's say I dieted for 4 months, maybe I would reverse diet for another 4 months. And then from there, I would also go into a calorie surplus and repeat this process over and over and over again. And every time you do that, you'll net a better physique. So hopefully that helped you. If you are a skinny guy listening to this and your goal is to bulk up, well then I would recommend spending more time in that bulk up phase and then diet for a little bit just to take some extra body fat off and then go through the cycle again. So hopefully this video helps you and kind of clears things out. You can't diet all the time. You have to go through stages and phases of this because that's what's going to be best for your body. And every time you end one phase, you're always going to net a better physique. Most of the clients that come to us, once they finally get to their fat loss goals, they're like, okay, I'm done. And then they kind of just go back to what they did before. And that's the wrong way to do it, because if you skip from a fat loss phase to a calorie surplus phase, your body is so primed to put on body fat during that time that you're just going to get fat right away. So you can't skip any of these phases. You have to spend time rebuilding your metabolism in between in order for you to keep that body fat off. Remember, not gaining any body fat and adding calories back into your nutrition is the best thing possible for your metabolism. Guys, make sure you spend some time doing that. Hopefully this video helped you. If you have any questions at all about anything with this, just make sure you drop some comments below and let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. All right, guys, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you all on the next one.